Clinton legend, as it were, for a long, long time. Larry was involved with the ADFA story. He was involved with the Clintons. He was involved with all kinds of things in Arkansas and in the White House as well. And he's still at it, and I'm really glad to welcome him back to the program. Welcome back, Larry.
Thank you. Welcome for having me.
And I'm really glad you're back. What we're looking at here, the Clintons, they just won't go away. And what I wanted to talk to you about tonight is Hillary, obviously, and her intent, it would seem, to finally ascend to the throne that she felt was rightfully hers in the past, and probably still does. What's your view of Hillary Clinton today, Larry? Where is she?
Hillary is 9 million times smarter. She is well-traveled, well-versed. She's more qualified to be president than Bill was, but she is still Hillary. Now, here's what's going to happen, if you want me to tell you.
Oh, I do.
remember I wrote the book, The Genie Out of the Bottle.
That's right.
Dick Morris, Paul Begala, me, later, James Carville. We were the team that put together the system that kept Bill Clinton elected governor 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the one he used to win the presidency and to hold it.
Yes.
When Hillary ran against Obama, she broke the rules. She was so arrogant, she broke the rules. Number one rule was kill them early. What that means is, when you're fixing to get an opponent, go out there and get rid of him. If she's got a problem, Benghazi. Jeff, you remember this rule? Remember the old rope-a-dope we had?
Oh, sure.
We'd tell Bill, he'd get out there and mess up and get caught. We'd say, go to rope-a-dope. Get in your corner. Let them beat on you, but just shut up. And you know what? In time, there'll be a tornado, a hurricane, an earthquake. 6, 8 weeks later, come back out and everybody will have forgotten. She's using all of this junk going on now, which is totally an act. She's using all of this to keep quiet. And by the time we get through the Obamacare, the budget battle, and all this other stuff, the American people have forgotten about Benghazi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The killings.
Too many. I don't know what the ultimate death list turned out to be, but probably close to 100.
Well, around me, and I'm not saying the Clintons killed them, folks.
No, we never did. We never did.
But they died about to testify or to come forward with me, and it was 52.
So most of them, just for our listeners, most of them were tied with you in some way, shape, or form.
All of them. All of them.
Oh, my.
And they all died. All of them died mysterious deaths, like shooting themselves in the back of the head twice with a shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cutting their hands and their feet off, setting themselves on fire and
Yes,
throwing
I
themselves in the
remember.
dump.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, for those of you that say, well, gosh, you say you didn't say the Clintons did that. You got to remember the Clintons. Hillary Clinton's daddy was Hugh Rodham. Who was Hugh Rodham? Hugh Rodham, and the former House Ways and Means Speaker, Dan Rostenkowski, a guy that I testified and got put in prison. Dan Rostenkowski and Hugh Rodham took over the Chicago mob from the Capone organization.
Oh, really?
That's why Bill wanted Hillary, because he had the mob money. That's why whenever you mentioned Bill Clinton during those days, what did you talk about? Dan Laster, cocaine. Nina, cocaine. Tyson, cocaine.
Yeah.
The boys on the track, cocaine. Well, those people made a lot of money with the Clinton being president. And you can bet they'd like to have their turn again in that tower.
Now, you say she lost to Obama. Was a deal cut back then, Larry? I trust you more than anybody on this. Was a deal cut with her? Say, okay,
Yeah.
Hillary, you sit out for 8 years, you can get it?
Yeah. I mean, they had to have Bill in the general election.
Yeah.
And that was the deal. They cut Hillary in. It was a deal. Made her Secretary of State, gave her independence. She went out, built her track record, and that's what it was all about. Jeff, let me say to your audience, just get one thing clear. I'm the meanest son of a bitch you've ever known. I've done everything you can imagine, broke every commandment. A lot. So don't think I'm a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Never
I know.
have been.
I know who you are.
And I did the stuff for the Clintons. Folks, all I can tell you is the truth. And it ain't pretty.
It's not
What's
pretty.
she gonna do?
Yeah.
No, and it's not gonna be pretty when she gets there. And when she walks in with the legacy left by Obama, remember, she tried to get Obamacare.
How do the Clintons feel about the Oreo cookie in the White House right now?
They hate him.
Chicago,
They hate him.
Chicago money, Chicago mob.
Yeah. I mean, he dropped the, excuse the term, he dropped the turd in the buttermilk of their whole world.
Mm-hmm.
Come up from Chicago, took over support of Chicago, put his guy back in Chicago. I mean, yeah, they hate him. But he will be history. He will be history. But the stuff he's leaving,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to leave Hillary king or queen, and she will take the power. And folks, Bill Clinton will tell you. I mean, look, Bill Clinton was an inch deep and a mile wide. But he'll tell you, Hillary's the meanest woman you'll ever meet in your life, the meanest person.
Just ask Vince
And let's
Foster, right? If he wants to.
Yeah. Yeah, but look, go to Benghazi. Those 4 guys died. What did you see her say? Hey, come on, they're dead. That's
right.
what she thinks of life.
Well, look at how she reacted to the brutal butchery of Muammar Gaddafi. I mean, come on. She was damn near laughing out loud.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. People have no idea what you're fixing to get.
She's beyond vindictive, this woman. She is.
Tell me about it. Ask me about it.
She's well, I know. She's a killer.
She, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Now, she might not do it, but give her control of the CIA, give her control of rogue government groups,
sure,
independent contractors that we've got today.
Yeah.
You telling me?
You can look in that woman's eyes and figure it out, and look at some of her reactions.
And welcome back to Hannity, and here is the final part of our exclusive interview with Rush Limbaugh.
You're a student of history. You're a student of politics. You live, eat, and breathe this. Have you ever seen deep state leaks about one a day? The Democrats hate the president. Republicans are weak, and many of them, as you point out, I think they want him to fail. And you got this never-Trumper crowd. And then the media, all aligned against him. Ever seen it this bad?
Never. Never have. People say that Nixon was the object of hatred and derision, and he was. But I have never seen, Trump is really exposing the people that do run or think they run this country, and they are scared to death, and they're angry. They feel betrayed by the election. And what they're demonstrating is they are perfectly willing to get rid of Trump any way they can and overturn the results of an election simply because they don't like it. What do you think the Mueller investigation is? It's a prelude to finding a crime or a misdemeanor that might be impeachable or creating a process crime. You know, I get funny about the Mueller investigation. What I hear, they can't find a crime. There wasn't a crime to start with, as there should have been. What they're finding is crimes on the Democrat side that they're trying to sweep aside. Hillary and the rigged primary against crazy Bernie. That would be, and never forget, folks, Trump runs the Department of Justice right now. So nothing's over until Trump does something with it. So chin up about that.
Yeah, but I've never seen, look at the powerful tools of intelligence, which we need to keep the country safe. Then you got surveillance, you got unmasking, you don't have minimization. Then look at the case of General Flynn, leaking intelligence, a violation of the Espionage Act, a leak a day the president has.
Right.
That I've never seen that in my life.
No, but what happens when everything's been politicized? Intelligence is politicized, no matter what they want to tell us. There's not a thing that the left doesn't try to take control of or influence that does not become politicized. And when that happens, it becomes corrupted. Liberalism corrupts. And the intelligence community, look at what they're doing. They're actually now using whatever, making things up, like the Trump dossier, whatever they can do to force the president out of office or to dwindle support among his voters and supporters. And I just think it's corruption on display, and most of it is coming from big government liberal types. But beyond it also, the establishment itself, I know that's a word that's thrown around, but it is the people that run the country, and you don't know them. We don't know who the leader is. They're not elected. Elected members are part of it, but they're not the power base. The elected people are told what to do. They're given the money and the donations and so forth. All this is being exposed, I think.
You said about the president in his speech at the UN, never before has anybody ever spoken this way to the UN. It's never happened by an American president. You got North Korea, I think a real threat. This guy's nuts. You got Iran. The Iranian deal will probably be there in 5 or 10 years, dealing with the same issues of radical mullahs armed with nuclear weapons and ICBMs. Peace through strength. You believe it. I believe it. How do you view his foreign policy?
I think the foreign policy is like everything, most everything else he's doing. I like it because it's unique, it's different, and it's commonsensical. I laughed myself silly. I saw a news story that this little pot-bellied dictator, Kim Jong-un, is so confused by what Trump's saying that he's calling Americans in Washington to help them understand. What's Trump saying? You keep it up and you're not going to exist. You keep it up and you're going to regret it. So this guy calls, what does he mean? What does he mean? And the people he's calling don't know how to analyze Trump either. Trump is a foreign object to these people. Politics is, in one way, so phony. It's the art of not saying what you really mean. Trump comes along, says what he means, and then doubles down on it. And that's why people around the country are cheering and standing up. He talks the way they do, not in diplo speak or political speak. And he just gets in, gets it, and gets out. And all of that is intimidating, I think, and all of it because it upsets